trust the plan. As Q drops his prediction stand, black hats rage as white hats pounce. Truthers gather, anons use the mouse. The world is listening as the evil cries. It's the crime of the century, biggest of lies. The sons and daughters, but justice will march. J6, the capital. As the deep state plots. No three-letter agency will deceive. Only to the blind, and they are their sheep. It's in God's hand. And when the moment is right, the military enforces what the patriots fight. To what stops this situation? Decertification for the 25th Amendment. There's just one thing that is certain. What lies behind this curtain of black? This and its features are under attack. What lies under the wings of a nation? Is a president in exile. Is a president in exile. Is a president in exile.
How you doing? I'm Big D. Welcome to the show. Before we get started, please like, share, subscribe, and definitely hit the like button, please. It does help the show. Share it out. I think you're going to find something today. Maybe it's something small, but you're going to find something that we talk about today that isn't given to you on mainstream media. Today's guest, John, aka Propane, the creator of what we just witnessed, that amazing intro. We're going to talk about banks. Is your money safe in the banks? John, are you able to see us live?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you? Are you able to see us live?
But on the other source,
Yeah, I'm not seeing it, but I'm going to go forward because I tried a couple of test ones throughout the week and they all worked. This one isn't working. At least that I'm able to see.
Okay, from my end, it says it's live, and
Okay.
from my second monitor, it said streamed an hour ago.
Okay. I see a lot of people are having some issues with Rumble lately.
Yeah, so something's a little off because the video for today that was supposed to start at 2 is just looping. It's just playing 1 minute, and it says streamed an hour ago. So there must be some technical issue there.
All right. Well,
But
I'll just go forward.
It says live on my side, so we're live.
All right. Okay. Sorry about that. John, aka Propane, he's our reoccurring guest, and he's always very helpful with the show. And if this is something that you'd be interested in doing as well, and you want to sit in, let us know. We'd like to include you. You don't have to be like-minded and you have a different view. Maybe we can have a discussion that way. Just not going to deal with arguments and things like that. So I'm going to start showing you something first, and then we'll get into the topics. First thing I want to show you, which is Donald Trump's head with his hat on, the normal Make America Great. But what's interesting is it's 45. Here, let me just go ahead and show you. 45 through 47. Some of the things I've said in the past about, and I'm not the only one talking about this, that Donald Trump never left office. Well, if that's the case, why is Joe playing games? Well, that I can't give you a 100% answer on. But when you look at, I'll bring this up real quick, leaving the White House, a leaving president has never left on Air Force One. They've left however they leave, and it's never been on Air Force One, as far as I could tell. The other thing is, they played Hail to the Chief and a 21 gun salute, which another thing that they never do. That is usually left for the inauguration, where Joe Biden received the song Honors March and received I believe it was a 13 gun salute. So my thinking is with this new hat and him wearing it proud, 45 through 47, just makes sense in my opinion. Let's see. Let's start talking about why we're all here today. Now, is your bank safe? That's why we're here today. Now, you must understand the relationship you have with your bank in order to protect your assets. What is a bail-in? Now, this is something that's very important. How can a bail-in affect your rights as a depositor? A legal fact is that the money you have deposited into your bank is a loan you have made to your bank for which you earn interest, not on all monies. If you have a checking, most likely you're not going to be receiving any interest. But when it is a savings, that is exactly what you're doing. You're receiving pennies, but you are receiving some interest when you have a savings, right? Now, the bank takes your money and loads it to others and makes money based upon the differential and the interest rates as well as fees. if the bank is on a shaky financial ground and your money is sitting in a bad loan, this ultimately becomes the problem of the creditor. You, the individual, shockingly, the percentage of the public that truly understands this legal reality is still relatively insignificant. So, what is a bail-in, and how does it affect your rights as a depositor? A bail-in is another form where banks and financial institutions are rescued, where the responsibility is transferred from taxpayers into, in the case of a bailout, the depositors, which is you in this case. It was first introduced in 2010 via an executive bill signed by President Obama as a direct result of Bail Out, the 2008 Too Big to Fail banks and financial institutions. Now, in other words, a bail-in will not add to the government's deficit, and it will allow banks and financial institutions at risk of failing to take some of your deposits to bail themselves out. So, will a bail-in likely happen? With our economy heading towards a possible recession, inflation at an all-time high, and the housing market in a bubble, uncertainties are looming over the head of Americans. Will banks be able to willingly hold your money if another 2008 scenario crash to take place? Well, in addition to what happened in recent years in Canada, Greece, Cyprus, Venezuela, suggests that it's likely possible. In fact, Lebanese banks have seized millions of accounts for the past 2 years, where the depositors are on a financial lockdown. It's unbelievable, but it is true. Something else that is true. The Biden regime threatens banks that refuse to give credit lines and loans to illegal aliens. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and the DOJ warned banks and leading institutions in a joint statement this week that that all credit applicants are protected from discrimination on the basis of their national origin, race, and other characteristics covered by the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, regardless of their immigration status. Now, the CFPB and Justice Department are issuing this statement because consumers have reported being rejected for credit cards as well as for autos, student loans, personal equipment loans because of their immigration status, even when they have a strong credit history and ties to the United States and are otherwise qualified to receive the loans. Fair access to credit is crucial and important for building wealth and strengthening household financial stability. Now, the CFPB will not allow companies to use immigration status as an excuse for illegal discrimination. Hopefully, this is going to be curbed rapidly, because what's to stop them from taking a loan and just leaving? Now, this is something that one of the reasons, just only probably 2 years ago, I made the judgment call on my own and my own family to remove my money from the bank. And I don't have anywhere near $250,000, which they state I am going to be covered if something happens with that bank. Well, unfortunately, our government doesn't have enough money to bail out every bank. So if you even consider or somehow can figure out how many banks are really in our country and where your money can actually be, it's huge. It's mind-boggling of how many banks are out there. Banks you've never even heard of. Obviously, there's a lot of regional banks, local banks. Many have ties to the larger banks. But tell me if you've heard this and leave a message in the comment section. How many banks have you heard that have had some issues that might be closing or have closed? Or how many bank branches nationwide that are closing or have closed? Because right now there is a 3,000 branches nationwide with recent of 50 plus closures from Bank of America alone in just 1 week. You won't hear that, but you can research it and you can find the actual list online. I wouldn't recommend Google, but sometimes Google does actually give you some decent information. It sometimes at least can give you a starting point. And if it's on Google, it's something that they can't hold back any longer. So major financial institutions seems to be accelerating a trend that many conservatives find alarming: the closure of physical bank branches. Now, according to a bulletin published by the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, OCC, on Friday, Bank of America led the way by closing 50 plus branches in just the first week of May. Wells Fargo was not far behind with 15 closures, while U.S. Bank and Chase reported closing 9 and 3 branches for U.S. Bank. Now, how long before your bank has either an issue or closing? One thing I need to point out is every time silver goes up just a few dollars, Bank of America has been losing billions of dollars. What do you think is going to happen when they hit 30 plus and stay strong above 30? What do you think is going to happen when they hit $50? And many of the silver, I'm going to call them gurus, the ones who know a lot more than I know about silver, like Andy Schectman. Check his show out. He's on anybody that wants to talk about silver show. He's on at least probably 4 or 5 shows that you can catch him on, talking about silver and also where this country is at. He talks about where silver can be. The dollar, like we talked about last week, the strength of the dollar or the purchasing power of the U.S. dollar. As that drops, the increase of precious metals goes up. Speaking of our economy, now Moody's is downgrading 10 banks, big banks. The Biden economy is falling apart at the seams. 10 banks are downgrading by Moody's, and more are on a watch list. Biden's economy is a mess. The average person knows that now. That's why more Democrats are leaning towards Republican side when they're going to come to vote in November. That's not just a statement from me. That's a statement from people on the streets. The discussions that real reporters are asking, who are you going to vote for? First, where are you? Are you Democrat? Are you Republican? Are you independent? And then they lean into who you're voting for in November. And most of them that are the independent or Democratic side, they are talking about moving in first time in a long time voting Republican. And Chris Cuomo was one of them. I'm not sure if he was Democrat or independent, but I know he wasn't Republican. But he's talking about voting for Donald J. Trump. Let's see. Now, Moody's cut the ratings of 10 banks by one notch and placed 6 banking giants, including Bank of New York, Mellon, U.S. Bank Corp, Street Bank, Truist Financial, on review for potential downgrades. The agency downgraded the credit rating of 10 mid-sized banks by one notch. They were M&T Bank, Webster Bank, Pinnacle Financial Partners, BOK Financial Corp, Associated Bank Corp, Old National Bank Corp, Amarillo National Bank, Commerce Bank Shares, Prosperity Bank, and Fulton Financial Corp. It also assigned a negative outlook to 6 top-tier lenders: Bank of New York Mellon, U.S. Bank Corp, State Street Corp, Truist Financial Corp, Northern Trust Corp, and Cullen Frost Bankers Incorporated, placing them on a review for potential future downgrade. Unfortunately, it's with the strength of the dollar, the purchasing power dropping rapidly. There's 2 states right now with housing bust that's going on, and that's Florida and Texas. It's very concerning. And when people talk about making sure you are prepared, becoming a prepper, that was one of the things that many pre-commercial that you might have seen on many of the Truthers shows, where they're talking about supplies that you can keep in a specific location other than your home. I'm thinking it's to bug out. You don't want to keep it in your home so someone could steal it, just in case you got to leave your home. But they're making it a little more than I believe is going to turn. It's going to turn out with a much better scenario than you're going to have to bug out of your home. But being prepared is 100% prepared, not just taking a chance and having the supplies and having it for yourself. But some people are going to still be working. But if banks are down, people are losing homes. They're going to have issues with getting money. There's a lot of things that are going to come into play that your own neighbors might turn to a side that you never even considered. But being prepared, that's for you, your medications, water, food, hopefully your own home, protection devices. Let's not get into that, but you know what I'm talking about. Making sure your animals are taken care of, Make sure you have at least a month or so food on top of what you already have. Water is going to be something that you might not get. So being able to make water drinkable from a stream, I don't know, you're getting a little too crazy with it, but having water on hand, that's going to be a plus. Hopefully this nothing even comes close to this. I'm just saying that use this as a an idea. Now we have another here little topic, which is going to follow along with the U.S. economy. The U.S. economy is headed for a hard landing, and Fed rate cuts won't be enough to rescue it. This is what Citi says. And we need to be aware when you're looking at all these different people, especially like the head of JP Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon. He comes out, seems like every other day, maybe every third day, talking about some type of issue. And they're always never promising, unless you're considered promising a failure, meaning the economy, the dollar, the spike in inflation. Okay. So that's about all I have, but it is something that everybody should consider. If it's you're worried about banks, you're worried about your bank. Maybe something that I just read off might want to make you consider doing something. Just don't do it without making the best decision for yourself. Don't just run to the bank and say, I want to take all my money out. Because I can tell you right now, it's going to take you at least a week to two, I would say, on average. It could take longer if you wanted to remove your money. Probably the more money you have, the harder it's going to be to get out, and the more questions you're going to have to deal with. They're going to want to transfer it. They're going to want to give you a cashier's check. Well, for me, that wasn't going to work. I wanted to not have any bank except for my average bill money. I don't want any bank having my money. So people are like, well, where am I going to put it all? Well, that's going to be something that you're going to have to figure out, because if you take out and all your money except for your bill money, and you have a lot, that's going to be something you don't want to have just in any normal safe. So there's a lot to consider. John, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, actually, from my neck of the woods here, I'm from the Philadelphia area. We had a fairly large regional bank go under, Republic First Bank. That was last week, I believe it was. First FDIC insured bank to fall in 2024. Now, the funny thing about it is, when it was closed by the state regulators on Friday, and the assets were given to the Federal Deposit Insurance Company Corporation. Let's see if people get some funds back. Now, according to the bank, most of the assets, or all of the assets, are being taken over by Lancaster Bank, Pennsylvania Bank, Fulton Bank. Now, you should keep seeing this happen one by one, smaller banks, smaller banks, smaller banks, big banks being taken over by bigger banks. Eventually there's not going to be too many banks left. So the big question is, where do all them deposits go? When is it to a point where you ask for your money and you're not going to get it back? Or that bail-in situation comes around where it's your money that's going to bail them out and you get nothing. It just seems that that's where we're heading, and we're heading there pretty fast, because you don't hear too much about the smaller banks. You hear it in smaller towns. It doesn't become national news. Obviously, it doesn't become world news. So we always, what we're hearing about banks going under and collapsing is probably more of that happening than what we're hearing. Due to that, we don't hear all the local banks, the smaller banks in the different states. I'm sure there's many of them. That would probably include credit unions also. So you have to think, if more and more has happened, and the only people that can bail them out is a bigger bank or a better run bank, okay, maybe the other bank that's taken over the assets, they might not be as good, but maybe they're better at doing what they're doing, and that's why they're assuming the assets so that the bank, the depositors, can still do, their normal thing. Their normal banking, but they're going through another bank that's running it. Now, they had roughly $6 billion in assets and about $4 billion in deposits as of January 31st. In the big scheme of money, there's $6 billion in assets. I don't think that's all that much, and $4 billion in deposits. It's a regional bank. You would think they would have more assets than that. It's something just doesn't add up with what they're reporting as assets. You would think that would be closer to I don't know. It just seems low, because they're taking your money and they're lending your money to someone else, and then that money is lent to someone else, and it just keeps going around and around in a circle. And now I'm no expert on money matters and all, but there's just so many things that just, you'll have a lot of people come out. Oh, I know all about that. I'm economics. I did this. I'm a professor. I know all about that. I'm this. I'm that. And they don't explain it. They explain it the way they were told to explain it. But do they really know what's going on? Do they really understand what's going on? Like, for instance, and I know I'm going off a little track here, but hear me out. How can the United States be in debt what they are when they are the ones that print the money? Like, why do we have to borrow for our own money that we print? Why can't you just print yourself out? Logically, that would be the thing. I mean, obviously, when Congress, assigns money, approves money to go somewhere, usually it's going out of this country to war efforts and whatever nonsense things that we shouldn't be involved in. Well, they print it up. Okay, so you're helping the country out. The other part of that is we print money and we sell bonds to different countries. I get all that. But we're in debt by our own money. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It never did. It's not common sense thing. So bringing that back to the banks, you have all these people depositing money into their banks. Okay, the bank takes that money and they try to make money off of that money by means of loans and whatever, stock options, whatever they do to build that money, and you're supposed to get a cut of it through interest. And it just doesn't seem like it's happening. So then when these banks finally close up and people want their money, or even they only want some of their money, the people, we the people, are having an issue getting it out. What do you need that for? Why do you need that much? Oh, you're going to have to wait 2 weeks. Well, why? We gave it to you. We just want it back. So it's that simple. It's
Yeah.
that simple. They don't have it. So where did it go? Banks, when you hear mismanaged banks, well, how can a bank be mismanaged? That's what they're in the, you know what I mean? How can you mismanage money when that's what you're in the business of doing? Money.
Yep, that's all you
You know
need
what I
to
mean?
do.
So there's got to be some type of corruption in there. There's something that's, unseen to the public. There should be no reason for banks failing and this and that. I mean, I know the other reasons. I'm still on YouTube mindset. Try to watch what I say. I'll get over that soon enough. But think about it, folks. We print our own money. We need money, just print it up. How are we in debt? And who's in debt? It's not them. It's us. We pay the price for that debt. And we get nothing out of it. Nothing. I don't care about foreign interest. Oh, that's bullshit. Foreign interest in this country, and this country, and this. Stop policing the world. Take care of your own people. You know what I mean? Get out of this fake print your own money bullshit without it being backed up by something. Because if it was backed by precious metals, well, you wouldn't be giving it away so much and so quickly. And there would
No.
there'll be only so much that you can give away because it has to balance out. Well, if there's no balance, we were talking about banks going under. Well, our own government doesn't run the ship the way they should, and that's why we're in the situation we are in. It's really bizarre. It's bizarre. I mean, I know there's all different avenues and reasons for it, and everyone, you could have 100 people comment, it's this, you don't understand that, and blah blah. I get that, but from a common sense. Just common sense. I gave you $100. You needed $100. I want $100 back. I told you no interest. Interest-free loan. Same thing. You put your money in the bank. They take your money. They give it to someone else. They lend it to someone else. There's an interest rate there. Now, I know the banks get their money from the Federal Reserve. I understand it. The Federal Reserve lends the bank's money, they get charged interest, and then we get charged double interest because we have to pay for the interest that goes to the Federal Reserve and the interest that the smaller bank is charging you. I get that. But when you go in and ask for your money, no matter how much it is, I could see maybe waiting a day if you want to withdraw a couple million, because maybe they don't have a couple million, but there's got to be a location within the tri-state area, where they have your funds. And if they don't, something's wrong. And something's definitely wrong. So.
Yeah, if they print money, the problem with that is the more they print, the more our inflation goes up.
Exactly.
And they don't care. They give our money. These countries hate us. Why are we helping?
Does that make sense, though? Is it? I'm not talking about, is that a science or is that a way? Just from common sense, does that make any sense to anybody?
Mm-mm. And where are these other countries? There's hundreds of countries around the world, and how many actually have donated anything, let alone equal to the United States to Ukraine? No one.
Exactly. Why would you give weapons? Let's say weapons. Let's forget about money. Weapons to your enemy. Does that make any sense?
Mm-mm.
Why would you even sell it to them?
Yeah, we sell all the time. We give away, we sell.
And then next thing you know, they're coming back and kicking us in the ass.
Yeah, what it's only going to be a matter of time when a bunch of them that have the same weapons we have comes back and takes us out.
It's only one. Only takes one idiot to press a button. You know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
Only one idiot. Well, from the way we're thinking, and reevaluation of the currency and Nasara and all that. In a way, I mean, that's what we want. We want these banks to go down. We want the Federal Reserve to go broke, so we can get out of this stranglehold, start over with a whole new system, and maybe make a change in this country. And I really think we should change if that ever happens, and we really do become free. And I mean free, like not all these taxes and all, and unconstitutional tax things that we have to pay. We have to pay for everything. My nephew said, "Uncle John, I want to try fishing." I'm like, "Okay, we can do that. I have to get a license. I don't have one. We're going to get a trout license, and you got that, and it's costing you like $100 to go fishing. Fishing,
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You know what I mean?" So I said, "Look, since you don't know if you really want to go fishing, Pennsylvania offers 2 free days of fishing a year, and they're coming up." And I said, "Look, we'll go on the free days if you're into it and want to pursue fishing. Then we'll get our license and do it, more often." So that's what we're going to do. But the fact that you got to pay for it, especially if you go to a park or something, public lands, but I got to pay. Who's the public? I'm the public. Well, what do you want to do? I want to go on the land. Well, you can't go in there. Well, sure it is. It's public land. It's my land. Public land. I want to go fish in that public land. Well, you can't go fish. Why can't I? Because we got to tax you or give you this crazy ass license that you have to have. Well, why? It's my land. Can I go fishing in it? Well, it's the public's land. Well, yeah. Well, they can come too. You know what I mean? Go to the bank. Hey, I want my money out. Why are you taking it out? None of your business. You know what I mean? Would you care what I'm taking it out for? How's that make any of a difference? I want my money and I want it now.
Yep.
I personally think everyone should just go to the bank today, tomorrow. Well,
Get it out.
let's do it on Monday. Let's have Mom have a good day tomorrow. You know what I mean? Let's start on Monday. Everyone just go in there, take $5 out, just piss them off. Like a whole 50 people waiting in line to take $5 out. Just do it. Just $5. Then next day, $10. Just make it come so crazy,
When I went in there and asked for my money, and had all these different questions of an actual document to fill out and a couple of weeks to wait, whatever it was. I thought it was too much. They had too much of my information for one, and too much aggravation to get my own money.
Right.
Should never have been anything like that. They should have been able to walk back into their safe, count out the money, and bring it to me.
Right. How about going back to the days of, give it to me in gold or silver?
Yeah,
right there at the bank.
Yep, that's what I should have done.
You know what I mean? Because they don't have it. They don't have the money. Where did it go? Where is it at?
Yep.
Did it just disappear? Did you hear about California losing $20 billion? They have no idea what happened to it. It was for the homeless people. Where did it go? For the homeless people. $20 billion.
Yeah.
Gone. They have no idea where it went.
Someone has it somewhere.
Yeah. They had technical difficulties, they said. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Technical difficulties.
Is that his name?
Yeah, right.
Mr. Technical Difficulties?
Yeah. He must have it.
He come in, took care of it, took it right out of the bank.
How do you lose $20 billion?
That is
assigned for homelessness. It's not like it was just sitting there and someone took it. It was assigned, and you have no records of where the money went. None. It's unreal. It's just the stupidity. I keep saying stupidity and common sense because the government and these banks do not run with them two simple things. I give you money, you hold on to it for me. If you're going to invest it, make sure it's still there. You know, my stack's supposed to get a little higher if you're investing that money on my return. So when I come back, I want money that I gave you plus the interest that you said I was going to get on that money.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say, well, what do you want it for? What do you mean, what do I want it for? What are you going to buy with it? Who said I was going to buy anything with it? I'm going to stuff my mattress in. I'm going to make a pillow out of it. What do you care? You know what I mean? Come on.
One in my possession, just like my silver.
My God, it just blows my mind of the stupidity. And
Like they actually think they believe they need an answer or deserve an answer.
yeah, right. But they'll take it off you real quick, won't they? Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, they will.
Hey. Oh, taxes? I will take your house. Oh, wait a minute. I only owe you $2,000 in taxes. You're going to take $450,000 home because I owe you $2,000 or something, you know, whatever the case may be, which that's usually the case. People don't owe.
Oh yeah.
They don't owe nowhere near what their home's worth. So how can the state come in there and take the house? They take the whole house.
Yeah.
The whole stinking house, you know, not just the $10,000 that you owe them or the $5,000, whatever the case may be. They take everything in your house if you can't get it out. Everything. Why? Who gives them the right to do that? It's bullshit. Tired
It's
of
not
it.
right. And they just think they can do whatever they want.
Well, I think it's coming to an end. I really do. I surely hope so. I have my doubts. Now, I was watching a documentary. I didn't finish it. There was like 9 parts to it. And I'm thinking, is this new? Is this new? And I go, it can't be new because that guy speaking there is an actor, and he can't look that good. Here it was from 1999. It was a pre 9/11 documentary. It's about all types of things: money, banking, foreign wars. It goes into all different subjects, and every subject that they came up with, I swear to God, after listening to it, I'm saying, man, that sounds like exactly what's going on now. So that was 25 years ago. And they were talking about the same things, same topics that we're talking about. HARP, they had a whole thing on HARP and manipulating the weather. We're still talking about that. You know, we don't know what HARP does. They don't know what HARP does. Is it hurting us, not hurting us? Is it causing weather? Is it making earthquakes? Is it causing tornadoes? What's it doing? Can it control our mind, or is it just an experiment? They don't know what they're doing with it. All this kind of stuff has to stop. It really does. It's just spend, print some more, spend some more. And who pays? We, the people, and the people of the world. It's got to stop. It's got to stop somehow or another. I believe it's going to stop. I don't know. If we have to go through something, that's fine. I just want it to start sooner than later because it's getting old.
Just got to get the right people in there.
Right. I agree.
Donald John Trump.
Yeah.
He's the beginning.
Let's see if we can get him in there, right?
Look what he did with all the pushback his first four years. You know, if he's able to do that, can you imagine when it's cleaned up and be able to take care of business with what he wants to get done?
Oh, that guy right there.
Yes, sir.
That guy right there.
That's funny.
I tell you, he's a trooper, man. I don't know how he puts up with it. He's got to be one strong individual.
Oh yeah.
He puts up with a lot of bullshit.
And his family too. Look what they have gone through.
I hear that.
And see, his son, 18 years old. You see what he just got in Florida?
What's that?
He is the youngest Let's see if I can find it real quick.
Are you talking about being a delegate?
Yeah, yeah.
He refused it.
I know, but it's still being offered at
Yeah.
18. That kid is really, really smart, you know.
And man, did he get big over a couple years.
Yeah, what is he, 6'8"?
He's big. He's big. They say he did a lot of time traveling, so it stretches you out. Wonder if that's true.
I think we're going to find a lot of stuff that we always thought was, let's go with conspiracy. You know, everybody likes to use that word.
Yeah.
We're going to find out that more and more truth in conspiracy. What do they say? The difference between conspiracy and reality is what? Just time.
Yeah, right.
It just takes a little time, you know. Look what happened to vaccines.
Future proves past.
Yep. I mean, a lot of people, you know, just with I'm going to call it common sense. Let's call it common sense. That there's just
There's that
something
word
not
again.
right about something, you know, and you just go, I just can't do that. You have you know, they made it sound like the vaccines, by taking it, you're going to help so many people. And then people took it that as, I am going to save your life.
Mhm.
Well, now you've taken your own.
Right.
I don't know if you remember, John, back in the day, I had some intros that someone was doing for me. And this kid, he's like, you know, telling me he's going to be able to go to college next year. And, you know, but it looks like they're going to make him take the vaccine. He doesn't want to take the vaccine. And I said, don't do it.
Right.
You, young individual, you don't need it. You are young, healthy. I don't think anybody needs it, to be honest with you. Too many people are going to die. This is what the actual doctors are coming out and talking about. Like Sherry Tenpenny, Judy Mikovits. You could talk about, I'm getting off topic, but it's getting me excited. America's Frontline Doctors. There's too many doctors stepping up saying, don't do it.
Right.
You know? And well, anyways, this kid ended up with taking it, the boosters as well. And I stopped communicating with him. I've tried to get a hold of him, nothing. And I hate to think the bad happened, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They're in everything, every aspect. We have to burn down the house and start all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Might not be pleasant doing that, but
I think it's going to be better than what we got now. But even when it's going on, and we know that okay, someone is helping us out now, I think what we have to go through, we're going to be better off, and we're going to feel somewhat safe. I don't think it's going to get too crazy. I do believe there's going to be some opposition. I'll call it that with paid actors. That's what you're seeing right now in these colleges going on where there's more than probably 60-70% that are actually showing up to these things. Are not all students. There are students, don't get me wrong, but most of them, they just want to finish out college. They're not out there protesting and going crazy.
that's right.
And if they are protesting, they're just college students protesting. I don't think they're doing what the normal whatever's going on in all of these.
Right, but all the other misbehavior makes the actual one protesters that are doing it the correct way making them look bad too,
Yes. Yep.
you know. And that's by design. Okay, that's by design as far as I'm concerned. Like I called them useful idiots, and that's what they are. And I'm not afraid to say it that way because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and a lot of people think the same way.
You know, but if we have to go through it, we have to go through it. I'm fine with that.
Yep.
It's the weight that's you know what I mean. I'm not
The
in perfect. I'm not in perfect health. Since for the last 10 years here, and I don't know how much time I have. I have
Exactly.
ill feelings every day and bad days most of the week, and every once in a while I have a good day. I want to be around to see all this. But if I have to go out in the streets and fight or defend my home or something, that's going to be tough for me. Even though I'm prepared physically, it's going to be tough on me because I'm
You
not
come up
who.
here to me, to my area, John. I'll take care of you.
Thanks, man. I'll get in that camp of yours.
We're all ready, man. I just had another meeting, and it might happen, but yeah, we're not thinking it's gonna. It's I think a lot of people that I am with right now, they're looking into what's on the dark web. What are the people talking about?
Right.
And it doesn't look good.
Right.
I really hope they hold out. A lot of these people, they make it sound like it's going to be the next, civil war.
Yeah. Well, you know, good things come out of war. Not that I want to go to war, because another civil war in this country. I mean, a lot of men died in the last one. This one would be completely different because you'll have all them crazy people out on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
The other in the original Civil War, our Civil War, they were fighting. They weren't out stealing, horses and you know, like the idiots that we'll have. We'll have, TV people stealing TVs, trying to clear out the pocketbook section at Macy's. For what? What are you doing?
Yep.
You
They
know what
want
I
to
mean?
steal it, sell it or trade it for drugs, sell it, whatever.
And then you got the other people who aren't prepared, and they're going to steal because they just think there's no law. They're going to get hurt. People are going to die. Good people and bad people are going to hurt. It happens in every war. I mean, I really don't want to see something like that, but because
No.
it'll be crazy. It'd be really insane. But hopefully, it doesn't get to that. And I do believe the military is going to step in at some point and have our backs. Reason for that, I live real close. For years, it's been there. We have a army barracks, real close, and it's right next to a major highway. And there's designated, uh, locked up entryways both ways, right next to the barracks. Well, they just recently tore it down, and they are refitting it and remodeling it and making it much better. That tells me that because they're making it bigger and better and more modern, that they are preparing for something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, our Air Force did the same thing.
Yeah.
And
There's signs.
not even 10 miles from my house.
Well, there's signs around your own neighborhood and area. If you look for them, you'll see them. You'll see different people at your 7-Elevens and Wawas or shopping stores. You'll see all different things if you're looking. And I'm not saying to be prejudiced about other religions or people from other countries, but you see an influx of people that shouldn't be there, and you don't know their intentions. Okay, you don't know if they're good. You don't know if they want to be here and they're trying to, simulate to our. You just don't know. You don't know. And to defend against something like that, it's going to be real crazy. But my little dog here, well, not my little dog, my moose over here, he's ready for it. How kid. But yep, what are you going to do? I just really believe that if something's planned like that and things go down, I really hope that the military has a plan to keep it at a minimal and it won't last long. And if anything comes up, that they could shut it down quickly.
I think that's why Donald Trump, before he left office, he signed that executive order to federalizing the National Guard to be able to go from state to state.
That's right. Not just in their own state. Take them where they need them.
And it's been extended by, I think that's one of them that were extended by Joe Biden.
Right. Think about
It was
that.
actually the president, not the commander in chief. You think he would have extended that? And if so, why?
Yeah. It
Anybody
doesn't.
want to put that in the comment section?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like anything that he would be interested. I think that goes against a lot of the things that he believes in.
True.
That's it. That's if he's pulling the strings, which I don't think he is anyhow.
No,
But
definitely not Obama. He
Yeah.
ain't going to want to allow that.
so, well, Big D,
Well, I thank you for helping out with the show again, John, especially
problem.
your expertise. That intro is amazing.
well, thank you.
I do appreciate that. Thanks everybody for stopping in. Trying to do every Saturday at 2 p.m. That's if Rumble is helpful with this, and I hope it went through. If not, it will be recorded with my Streamlabs, and I will have that up soon if it didn't come up. All right. Thanks everybody for stopping in. God bless. Have a great day.
Take care, everyone, and I'd like to wish a happy Mother's Day to everyone out there.
Yes. Happy
All the
Mother's
mothers out there.
Wow, I ruined that one.
I caught you. I got your back. I got you 6.
I appreciate that.
See you later, everyone.